Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another Hero House Reviews. Today we're looking at Storm Collectibles Guile from Street Fighter Ultra 2. Street Fighter 2 Ultra? Not sure the correct way to go about that, but anyway. Guile. Now, Guile actually is one of my preferred characters from Street Fighter. He's who I'd use if I was playing the game, but I've been looking at reviews of this guy online, looking at pictures, and I've been umming and ahhing about buying him for a while, because other reviews have not been too favourable, and the pictures don't look great, and they point out some issues, but this is again a case where it was a figure I wanted, so I pulled the trigger, and I'm glad I did. Because, yeah, Rugal from Storm Collectibles was very disappointing. So if Guile had not been good, that could have been the end of the line for me, but fortunately Guile is, well, great, as far as I'm concerned. He comes with so many accessories. His upper body articulation is fantastic, and, well, the sculpt looks great, so let's dive in there. Really good face. Dog tags could be a little better. Like, those don't look like real dog tags, they just look like bits of metal. But they are, like, actually, you know, a necklace, so that's cool. They're not just a sculpted on thing. That's an accessory on his hand. The painting on his tattoo is great. Nice, crisp pants and boots. And the sculpt in the face and body is good, and the musculature in the arms. People have been complaining about what is called the beer belly, which does look quite drastic on this, obviously. But if you pose him just standing up straight, you don't notice. He just looks like a muscular dude. And if you've seen muscular guys who are sort of older, and Guile has a wife and kid, I think he's meant to be a bit older than the average characters, that's the sort of build they do get. They maintain their fitness and their bulk, but they don't have the shredded six-pack. It kind of bulges out like a belly. So it doesn't bother me too much, and it differentiates him from just the usual chiseled physique. So I'm okay with it. He just looks like a fit army dude you don't want to mess with. So I have no issue with that, really. What I do take issue with is the big old gap you get if you lean him back. That's not well designed, but again, you only get that if you're leaning him back as far as he'll go. And there's no real reason to be posing him doing that. So, not a deal breaker as far as I'm concerned, but just something to be aware about when you're buying him. Arms have a sick butterfly joint. Like, these things will go... Let's take that off. These are great accessories. They just pop on and pop off with ease. But yeah, so... huge range in this butterfly joint. Huge range of movement. Arms, bicep swivel. Hand are on a ball joint? Yeah. And wrist swivel. Double jointed elbow. Gives you 90 degrees, a little bit more than 90. For both arms. Leg articulation, he's got the double jointed knee, so you get a little bit better than 90 degrees. Doesn't have any, like, real swivel in the shin, and he can't go very far with the splits because of the sculpting of his pockets. He's got a swivel at the boot, which is good, and a bit of ankle pivot. Goes forward that much, goes back, not really, and a toe hinge. So it's the legs where his articulation begins to fall down. Otherwise, if it's just the upper body, well, head is on a ball joint and moves very well. So, a mixed bag of a figure, I'll concede. I really like him, as you sometimes just get with figures, you know, they don't have to be technically perfect. It can just capture something that holds your gaze, and to me, this is a badass army dude, and a great figure of a badass army dude. But I can see that there are issues that could put people off. If you're waiting for the perfect Guile figure, this isn't it. But for me, it's perfect, if that makes sense. And that's what toys need to be. Oh, sorry, collectible and action figures need to be. The things that we enjoy personally. You don't need to have perfectly executed things. It just needs to make you happy, as with any product or thing in life. So... overall rating, I don't know where I'd go with this guy. He pleases me, so 4 out of 5. They could have done a better job with the leg articulation. That unsightly sort of gap in his chest when you move him back, and maybe the dog tags. But then the sheer volume of accessories, which you'll see when I take the pictures, really sort of counteract those defects, because he's perfectly executed in terms of that. It's such a generous figure, and he's well sized in terms of bulk. I think we've had this discussion before of I like the Storm Collectibles being as big as they are because, well, it just makes them intimidating. I mean, look at him next to NECA's Terminator. He would terminate the Terminator, no issues. I'll have to get out the tape measure and give you an actual measurement, because these guys are getting ridiculously huge. Anyway, let's dive into the pictures and move on from there. One sec. Alright, you know what? We're bumping it up to a 4.5. After going through all the accessories and everything, he's definitely bang for your buck, and if it weren't for those, minor imperfections in articulation and design, he would be perfect. When you factor in the price point as well, this is an excellent figure. I mean, he's the same cost of a Figma or a sort of higher-end SH Figure Arts, but you get far more accessories. He himself is much larger and bulkier, which is my preference. Maybe you like your characters being smaller and slimmer and, proportioned in that way, but for me, this bulkier thing makes him feel more substantial. And I didn't even show you all the hands. He's got 8 pairs of hands, he's got 3 heads, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 effect pieces, plus the stand that comes with it. And the stand is a very clever design that's basically several rods that interconnect, and you can vary the height of the piece you've got on display. That is so well done, and yeah, I don't know. It's just that gap in the torso and the not great leg articulation that's keeping him from being absolutely perfect, but you cannot go wrong with this as a Guile figure. It's fantastic. And I think, yeah, they can't really have done a better job apart from improving those little bits of articulation. This is a great figure and has restored my faith in Storm Collectibles after the disaster that was Rugal. I mean, the Rugal just cannot move. It's terrible. It disappoints. Anyway, 4.5 out of 5. Absolutely great figure. If you like Guile, if you like Street Fighter, pick him up, and it'll definitely be worth it. It's worth inspecting for yourself, because when you have him in hand and have all of these accessories at your fingertips, yeah, it's a good time. If you want to see more reviews, we have plenty, and generally do one a week. And if you want to see other things, we have Hero House and Figure Fights, which are a blast. And also the Wreckers. You need to remember the Wreckers. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again. All the best. Bye.